Recently, my wife thought it would be a good idea for me to grow my hair out, and I was thinking, hey, that doesn't actually sound like a bad idea. I'm gonna end up looking like a young Matthew McConaughey. I'm gonna have nice, long, luscious locks. This is gonna work for me. But then I started thinking, maybe it's not, and maybe I don't have that good of a hairstyle to pull off long hair. Which leads me to what I wanted to talk about today, which is the 2020 fee schedule, the effects of it, and should you become a PTA because of it? I don't really know how that makes sense, but ever since I posted my first video on the final ruling of the 2020 fee schedule, there's been a lot of people commenting and worried about what's going to happen to the profession. Should they be a PTA? People are commenting, should I cut my losses now and drop out of the PTA program while I still can? Should I not even bother going into this anymore? Maybe I should become a nurse. And there's been kind of a lot of worry. And so my question is, should you give up? Should you not be a PTA anymore based on the current circumstances that are provided? As I've been researching this new rule and I've been reading articles about it and listening to what other people are saying about how this is going to affect the profession, the answer to if you should continue to try to become a PTA is I have no idea. I really don't. And I know you guys are probably like sitting there thinking, man, I really thought you had this elaborate response planned out and you were gonna back it up with all this evidence to support your argument. Well, no. At the end of the day, I think you should examine your own desires of what you want to do and what you feel called to do and what really motivates you for why you do what you do. And I feel like you should go with kind of your gut instinct of how you feel. A lot of people tell me when I record videos like this and I put a lot of hard work and effort, I have family or friends say to me like, is it really worth it to be doing all that? You spend a lot of time doing that and it's not really paying off for anything much. But I really don't care because this is what I want to do. I want to record videos. I want to help people out that are going through this process. And so I'm going to go with my gut instinct on this one, even though it might not look the sense on paper. And so I feel like I could argue this topic of should you be a PTA then? I feel like I could argue it either way. I could say, yeah, you should be a PTA and here are the reasons why. And I could also say, you shouldn't be a PTA, and here are the reasons why. I feel like I could present both arguments, so at the end of the day, I feel like you should really go with what you feel like you're called to do. I'm more of an optimist, so when I'm presented with this question, I really think it'll work out either way. So if you really want to become a PTA and you want to make this your career and you really want to work hard, no matter what you're getting paid, I feel like you will figure out how to make it work for your situation and you'll have success with it. But then I also think, hey, if you don't think that this is really what would be a good idea for you to do, you don't think you're gonna find a job right away, you don't think you're gonna get paid very much and you wanna go do something else, I still think you'll find success in that just because I'm more of an optimist and that's the way my brain works. And for me, I don't necessarily think what I'm doing is as important as why I am doing it. So whether I'm a PTA or if I'm going to work as a nurse or if I'm going to just work as a waiter, I don't think necessarily what I'm doing is that valuable, but it's why I'm doing it, the purpose for why I do things, because I feel like I can find success in whatever I do. And I know a lot of you guys probably aren't really thrilled with hearing that answer. You guys probably want to hear, yes, you should do it, or no, you shouldn't do it, and here's why. But I'm sorry that I can't give you that answer, but I do still want to mention in this video things you should consider when making this decision. The first thing I wanted to mention is that I think that physical therapy in itself is a valuable field. So when you have the option to either have surgery or get injections or take opioids or do something like conservative care like physical therapy, I think physical therapy is a really strong alternative compared to your other options. First of all, there are a lot of studies out there that show that physical therapy is actually more cost effective than getting surgery or taking injections or doing something like that. So it saves you money by not having a huge surgery bill, and your insurance is gonna have to pay for all that, so it's more cost effective. But then the other thing is too, like compared to opioids, I feel like it's not as addictive. There's an opioid crisis going on right now, and I feel like physical therapy is a great alternative to those other means of interventions. So the reason for saying all that is because I think physical therapy is important, it's a needed profession and a needed career, so I think it's going to be around in the future, even despite these changes in reimbursement rates for PTAs and other things, I think the career is going to last. So I still think that people need healthcare and they will need this service, so it will be around in the future. Also, another thing to remember is that physical therapy isn't the only profession where this reimbursement change has happened. When you look at a physician compared to a nurse practitioner, nurse practitioners get paid at 85% of what a physician does, and sometimes they do a lot of the same tasks. So you still see that in different parts of healthcare, and other parts of healthcare are still really important. So nurse practitioners are very valuable, PAs are really valuable, and that's why I feel like PTAs are going to be very valuable still, even if we get reimbursed at a lesser rate. Another thing you should consider when you're deciding if you still should become a PTA is what should you do if it doesn't work out for you. It's always a good idea to have a strategy of what to do in case you don't end up getting a job, or what should you do if you do get a job but they pay PTAs less by the time you get out of school or something like that. You should always have kind of a plan or a strategy of what to do to recoup your losses. So say they pay you less as a PTA, well, you could still continue to work as a PTA and it might take you 3 years to pay off your school loans versus 2 years or something like that, and then you could always still try to find an alternative job. It's just always smart to have a plan of what to do just in case it doesn't work out, but I still don't want you to let that worry you from not pursuing the career, because this could happen in any career, literally anything you go into. If you went into business and you started working for a company, that company still has the potential of going out of business or not being around anymore, and then you have to find a new job. So it could happen in whatever field or whatever area you work in. Another thing you should consider when making this decision is, why do you want to become a PTA? Is it because you want to help people? Is it because you want to earn a lot of money? Is it because you want to work indoors or be active or be social with people, spread love, joy, peace, harmony? I don't even know what I'm saying at that point. But why do you want to do it? Because if, say, PTAs do end up getting paid less as a salary because of this reimbursement change, well, if the reason you wanted to become a PTA was to earn a lot of money, well, then maybe it's not a good idea to do it for you. But if you still just want to do the career because you like helping people, then no matter what you get paid as a salary, you still might really enjoy what you're doing. So I hope talking through some of these thoughts and ideas can help you make your decision. But honestly, it's really hard when you don't know the effects of what's going to happen until the future. That's just the decision you're going to have to make and live with. But my final point is, I don't know if growing my hair out is a good idea. It might look terrible, I might regret it, I might love it. So do you continue with it even though you don't know the future, or do you give up? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you on another one. Peace.